Drink Cinema! Cheers. Welcome to another episode of Two Drink Cinema. We are two brothers reviewing movies 2 drinks at a time. Each week we pick a movie and we rate it according to the Archie Q De Niro scoring system.
Yes.
Which we have invented.
Which is a very scientific way of looking at movies.
Yeah, it's a very unique way of looking at movies.
Yes.
So be prepared for that as we go through the steps. How are you, Brett?
I am goodly. I'm feeling genetically inferior today. How are you?
Well, can I say one thing about I'll save it. We have watched Gattaca.
Yeah.
And it is a movie about genetics.
Loosely, yes.
And you've done a little bit of a science degree.
I have.
So this is your area of expertise.
Great.
All right?
I didn't feel smart watching it, I'll tell you that. Anyway.
We start the Archie Q De Niro score with A for alcohol. And because we are two drink cinema, we have a drink for each movie that we've watched. They do drink a martini when they go on their date, Uma and Ethan. But martinis are boring.
Well, yeah, it's like I'm not making a martini for a movie. That's a daunting.
Unless, when we do another James Bond.
It's not iconically martini-ish.
And by the sounds of things, all up until he meets Ethan Hawke, all Jude Law consumes is vodka, but we didn't want to do that straight.
Well, no. But
particularly after last week,
yes,
which was just alcohol in a glass on my cocktail.
Yeah.
What you've done instead is this.
Yeah, so I found a cocktail and then I changed it up a bit. Because it didn't have vodka in it, right? Had gin in it. But I'm like, no, he drinks vodka a lot, so I'm going to put vodka in it.
To quote Ethan, there's more vodka in this piss than piss. So what have you come up with?
So I'm calling it a Gattaca.
Yeah.
Because that's the name of the movie. And it's got vodka, apricot liqueur, lemon juice, and orange juice.
What you could have done is made a cocktail out of a G, an A, a C, and a T. Because then we could have had coconut in there.
A gin. And then it could have been gin, apricot liqueur,
absinthe,
Cointreau, and what's the other one? C.
Gin,
no, that was C.
Absinthe, coconut liqueur, and tequila.
It's disgusting.
And it would have ruined the quality of this podcast. Instead, we've got the Gattaca, which has this stuff. If you're on the YouTube, you'll see the quantities come up on the screen.
Yellow.
Otherwise, find us at Two Drink Cinema on the socials to get the quantities. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's definitely got orange in it.
The orange is quite overpowering the lemon. It's nice. It doesn't taste alcoholic.
No.
It's great.
Dangerous.
I might have 2 of these.
Two Drink Cinema.
Oh, that's a solid 3.5.
Oh, yes, we're scoring it. I've got a shit laptop. Can you score?
Yep.
Sorry, I'll cover the brand.
It's old.
It's not even old.
Okay, well, I'm trying not to offend the brand.
If any laptop companies out there want to sponsor us with better laptops...
So how are we rating this?
What'll happen is Acer will get in touch with me.
Yeah.
To sue me. I'm rating that a 4.5 out of 5.
All right, let's compromise on a 4. Oh, no, we don't have to.
Yeah, we do, because one is for the cocktail, one is for the movie's alcoholicness.
Ah, right. So let's compromise on a 4.
Yeah, the first score is... We score the cocktail and how alcoholic the movie is.
Alcoholicness of the movie, which is a very important part of movie making. But I'm only scoring it lower because it doesn't taste alcoholic, which is probably not a bad thing. But if I'm having a cocktail, I need alcohol.
Is that a juice of an orange or orange juice?
It's the juice of an orange and the juice of a lemon.
See, I would give it a 5, I think, if it had orange juice instead of the juice of an orange. Because the juice of the orange is quite tart.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was orange juice, it would be a little sweeter rather than tartar.
Right.
And then it would be a sessionable cocktail, which is not good for the wallet.
Well, it wasn't meant to have orange juice in it at all.
Oh, okay.
So that was one of my twists. As well as my orange
well as the
twist.
helix.
Yeah.
Like his staircase.
Yeah. Or like the structure of DNA.
Which is staircase references.
Now,
all right,
the alcoholicness of the movie is Jude Law.
Jude Law, but...
The real Jerome.
Yes.
Will the real Jerome Moreau please stand up?
No.
No, he can't. I didn't even set that up.
He's an alcoholic. As I said, there's more vodka in this piss than piss. But he doesn't drink when he needs to piss, but he is always dehydrated. If I was a
very
doctor,
yellow piss,
which I'm not, that piss is always so yellow, I would be like, Jude, have a water.
Yeah. Jude, have a water, because if it's a bag of white liquid...
Clear liquid.
Yeah, clear liquid, that's not good TV.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be
movies.
Like this colour.
It doesn't have to be Red Bull. It can be like a diluted lemon cordial.
It can just be not clear.
It could be solo colour. No, that's not a healthy colour of pee either.
No. Anyway, have a drink of water, Jude, in between vodkas.
Just put some water in your vodka. It's a balance of life.
He drinks a lot before he meets Ethan. Then he gets off it for a bit, but at any opportunity is like, we need to get drunk.
Is that why flushing to the end, he burns so well? Because he's just full of alcohol.
I don't know if we needed to see the fire.
I don't think we needed that ending. I don't think we needed a lot of this movie, but anyway.
I don't think his character was developed enough for us to need to see him suicide at the end.
No.
I didn't know if I wanted to say the word. But it happened in the movie.
So the alcoholicness of the movie, though, I kind of want to give it a 3. Then, when they're at dinner and they go on a date, they have more drinks.
But only like a couple.
Yeah.
There is character-based drinking. Jude Law is character-based drinking.
There is character-based drinking and situational-based drinking. That's not a word.
All right, I'm going to give it I reckon it's a 3 out of 5.
I was going to say that too.
Okay.
So all up, we're a 7 out of 10 for the alcoholiness of the movie and the cocktail we have created.
Okay. That's our highest.
It's pretty good.
The R of Archie is for representation. Low.
Yep. Basically 0, except a doctor.
A doctor and a guy that is near the detective.
Yeah, it doesn't say a word.
No.
The doctor that goes, oh, so you've chosen your kid to be white. Not judging. Like awkward.
So you've chosen this movie to be white.
I want it to be genetically superior, so we'll make it white. Which was a lot of that.
But also...
It was a bit weird.
But also,
would you choose hazel eyes? Yeah, I would.
You would. But also, athletically superior? Not white.
No.
No.
Unless you're swimming.
No. Well, yeah. Which he does.
Yeah.
But he's also not that good at it.
That's true.
He's not as good as his inferior brother.
Superior brother?
No, the superior brother loses to the inferior brother.
That's true. Because he doesn't care if he dies.
In that opening scene, Ethan Hawke in the shower does not look inferior.
God. All right. Well, as the doctor would say, he has an impressive equipment.
Yeah.
Which might fall under the horniness of the movie rather than the representation.
I understand that we needed to make the point of, at the end, he's like, right-handed guys don't hold it in their left hand.
Yeah, but did you need to be like, nice dick?
Is he saying that to everyone that comes in?
Well, unless they don't have a nice dick.
Is he saying, your dick could have done better?
It's also bullying. It's harassment in the workplace, isn't it? Sexual harassment.
It's complimentary, but it is sexual harassment.
It's not warranted.
No, it's not warranted.
Or wanted.
We can skip your into horniness.
Yeah, okay. The representation is crap. Basically, a lot of these genetically superior people that work at Gattaca
are white. Yeah.
Which isn't a great
It's not
message.
a great comment, so I'm going to give it a 0.25.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because there is a black character.
But in one scene, he doesn't really do anything. And 0.25 is the lowest we can give it, really.
Without a zero.
Without a
But
zero.
it's not a zero because, there's no gender diversity. There's no sexuality diversity.
No. There's no.
I'm giving it a zero.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ethan and Uma.
Yeah. Whatever. You didn't.
I didn't cry.
The C is for crying because Lee loves a cry.
Archie, I didn't cry. I did cry a lot, though, in the other movie we watched for Rainbow Popcorn.
Yeah.
Which I'll talk about in that one. So that's our other podcast.
Stay tuned, people.
At Rainbow Popcorn Pod. So go and follow that for when they come out.
It's not a cry movie. It's not. I couldn't imagine anybody crying watching this movie.
It is a happy movie when he finally gets to go to space. Even though he's probably going to die on the way there.
Because he doesn't have the heart for it.
Well, also because he's overdue already.
I thought he was going to die when he was swimming.
In the intimate moments.
Because he's like, it's 10,000 beats overdue already. That's like a day. Wait. I don't do maths.
I don't know.
It beats 1 time a second?
An average, like
60 beats a minute?
Well, let's say that's a very good... He's very fit. Let's say 70 beats... Let's say 60 beats a minute for the ease of maths.
Well, because, in a sex scene, he would have had his heart rate would have gone up.
Yeah, and his heart rate was very up when it was on the...
Especially if the sex scene is shot upside down. That would increase your heart rate.
With upside down?
It was for a bit. I don't know why.
Oh.
It looked like it.
Uma's a bit kinky.
Well, no, it's just the way it was shot, I think. Anyway.
So, 60 times a minute. Am I actually working this out?
It's 360.
360 minutes in a day, is it?
No.
Okay, so 60 beats a minute times 60 minutes in an hour is 3,600.
So it's 4 hours overdue.
12, 43,000. You said it's only 10,000 beats overdue. That's 2 hours.
Yeah, it's 2 hours.
Yeah,
that's a bit weird.
That's not researched well enough.
The dialogue wasn't great in this movie.
I like Uma Thurman. She's boring as fuck in this movie.
Well, she's not the only one.
Yes, the movie's generally boring. I didn't cry anyway.
Cries a 0.
I might have cried happiness, but I actually wasn't that happy for him.
No, because he's kind of a dick.
I didn't care that much. The way he looks at these boss at the very first scene.
Yeah, it's like creepy like this.
It's like, I'm up to something and I'm going to kill you. But he doesn't kill the other
one. You get
one.
that on camera?
Yeah. He always looks up through his eyelids.
He's not okay.
He's not a great actor.
No, Ethan Hawke is not a great actor.
I like her, but Uma Thurman has moments where she's not a great actress in some movies.
I think everybody in this movie has a moment where they're not a good actor.
Ernst Borgnine, great. Every scene is great. 3 scenes.
That's true.
Does he know?
Well, would you not recognise the janitor that took off his glasses?
It's the Clark Kent effect.
Right, okay.
And...
Although he did change his eye colour and his hair a bit.
You only really saw that his eyes were really blue when he's on the plane, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
When he leaves at the end. All right, cry 0. Horny is the H in Archie. The detective is horny for Uma.
And so is Ethan.
More clearly horny for Uma than Ethan.
Jude in a bit. He goes, oh, give me a kiss. I just met ya.
Yeah.
Bit weird.
But they have to pretend that they didn't just meet.
That's true. But the kiss was unnecessary.
Yeah. Ethan and Uma are horny for each other. And clearly, Uma didn't find Ethan genetically inferior because they made a genetic result of horniness.
Well, after the sex scene... Oh, in real life.
In real life.
Oh, right.
Maya Hawke from Stranger Things.
Yes.
Which I think she could have been conceived on the press tour for this movie. Does
that add to... Or the sex scene in the movie, was that real?
It could have been. Could have been the conception of Maya Hawke could be immortalised in cinema because this movie premiered in October of 1997.
Yeah.
She was born in July of 1998. That is 9 months after the premiere of the film. She's an after-party baby.
Ooh. Well, they were like, wow, we're bombing at the box office.
Yeah.
Let's have a baby.
Let's have a baby.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
So they got together on this movie, Uma and Ethan,
yeah.
and didn't waste any time having a kid.
No.
All right. And Maya Hawke's good, so maybe Ethan's not genetically inferior.
She looks more like him or her.
She looks like both of them.
Yeah, okay.
But she speaks like her
Yeah, okay.
because she's a better actress
Huh.
than her dad.
The doctor, I don't know if the doctor is horny for Jerome when commenting, like we mentioned, commenting on his equipment.
Yeah. Is that horniness or is that just
Creepy
male respect?
awkwardness. I don't know. Mad respect. Nice penis, man. That's what it is it?
Maybe?
I've never said that to a person before.
No.
Nice penis, man.
Is it? And then the son. The doctor knows he's not him from the start
Yes.
because he keeps trying to tell him about his
My
son,
son is like
who doesn't
you.
have as nice a penis as him.
No. But which is a weird ending, actually.
That he just lets him go.
No, I like that bit. But do we need that extra story of the son?
But that's why he lets him go. He has to have a reason to let him go.
Rather than just being a shit doctor.
Rather than just being, oh, whatever, I think you're great, you can go.
Right.
So it's a little bit of like, that's a rule in storytelling, that a character has to have a motivation.
Yes.
But they've just put a motivation in.
Yeah.
The motivation could have been, I think this geneticism, or what do they call it? The genoism
Yeah.
is shit. Go.
The doctor be like, I don't agree with it. He's clearly good, and I don't care that he's genetically already inferior.
But his reason is, my son's dick isn't as nice as it could be. I'm going to let him go to space.
I don't think it's all about the dick.
It sounds like it. But also,
No, I've never said that before either.
well done to Ethan Hawke for being genetically inferior, but still having a nice dick.
Yeah, so the parents that was just...
Natural.
What did they...
God-born.
Faith-based?
Faith-born?
Faith-born? Something like that.
Love-born. Now it sounds like... God-born sounds like something from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Daenerys love-born.
God-born. Ethan God-born of the family genoism. Horniness, I think it's a 2 for me. 2.5.
2.5.
Because the detective is very clearly into Uma, so obviously that's a family trait.
Yep.
Because the detective, spoiler, is his brother.
Yep.
But I didn't think at the start that Uma was horny for Ethan. I thought she was just sus on him, and that's why she took the hair.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Like, it was a bit... I thought that she knew he was...
Yeah. Maybe, I think you're meant to. You're not meant to think she's horny. You're meant to think, oh, what she's up to here. But she wants to get his profile to work out whether he's worth making Maya with.
Yes.
Obviously, he is. Even though he's not.
So that's how she was choosing a mate.
Maya's
based on
got
genetics.
But they still mate, even though they've both got shit hearts. So sorry, Maya.
And it's like, in the sex scene, after the sex scene...
Yeah, which
he's
may
like,
or may not be on the beach.
He's like, oh, shit, there's a hair on the pillow. I'm like, oh, was there skin in the bed? I'm like, there is other genetic material that I would be worried about.
Let's not worry about the one hair on the bed, mate. And
then they have a daughter. There you go.
Outside the movie. It's not Gattaca 2, The Birth of Maya Hawke.
Who knows?
They could do that now that she's older, like Quentin Tarantino Kill Bill style.
Oh, yeah. So Maya Hawke's going to be in the new one.
Well, Quentin has said if he makes a Kill Bill 3, he'd like Maya Hawke to be in it.
Yeah.
But the main idea is that little girl, Vivica Fox's on-screen daughter, is older.
Right. Anyway.
It's not a Kill Bill. Patreon.com/2 Drink Cinema for our Kill Bill episode.
Yes.
3, I'm giving it.
3, not a 2.5.
2.5.
Okay, 2.5.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Okay.
This isn't going great with a couple of zeros in there. Anywho, the I in Archie.
I'm going to start calling people invalids.
For your insult.
Yeah.
Um,
Eyes for insulting Archie.
yeah. It's the whole movie is just like an insult to
Jeans.
people. I'm probably an invalid. I wear glasses.
Myopia.
Balding
also.
red hair's probably in there, but some people aren't going to choose that.
I've got dodgy knees.
Yeah, I probably have a shit heart now too.
The class comment is not hidden at all.
Yeah, I'm just an invalid in a valid world or something.
Yeah, and it's just like, we hate invalids. Just at every point.
The dad is a dick.
Yeah.
The only way you'll ever see the inside of a spaceship is if you're cleaning it.
But also,
Brutal.
when Ethan Hawke is born, they're like, oh, we love him. We don't care that he's not perfect. But then as soon as they're like, let's have a second kid, oh, he's got to be perfect.
Yeah.
That whole flashback, too long.
Oh, way too long.
Too long.
But also, did you really have to explain? Because it almost like... So at the start, you see Ethan getting his blood in his finger thing and getting a bag of piss and strapping it to his leg.
Yeah.
And then later on in the flashback thing, they explain that.
Yeah, no, you don't need to.
Like, we've already seen... Before that flashback bit, we've seen him put the blood in, then go into the work...
Yeah.
With that.
Yep.
Then give a urine sample. So you think that's why he's doing it. You go, I'm not really Jerome. You go, oh, well, that's why he's doing it.
Yeah.
I don't need to explain that they test
and
this
then
and
we
they
do
test that.
again.
Yeah.
How does the creepy doctor watches him wee?
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to talk too much about dick on this podcast today. How does the bag of wee get actually into his dick to come out?
It doesn't. It's like there's a tube. You see when he's testing the wee, there's a tube that comes out of the bag. So he puts it in his thing and then puts it through his...
that likes his penis is watching him.
Yeah.
How does he not see a tube, or does that tube connect to the balls?
It connects and somehow is there, and he...
That's a deleted scene.
He puts his finger there and
that's
you
a
can't see
deleted
the
scene
tube.
where they just add a connector to the under of his willy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's too much dick
The
talk.
under of his willy. The insults are there, but it's not that insult
No.
quotey movie.
Invalid and degenerate.
Not
I'm not going
degenerate,
to use in real life.
degenerate.
An invalid and degenerate.
Maybe I'll give it a 1.5.
I'm going to give it a 1. Because I still think the insults are the catchy, quotable insults we want to talk about.
Yeah. I also think that as a movie, it's quite insulting.
To genetically inferior people or to cinema.
It's not that bad.
Enclosure rounds off the Archie part, and enclosure refers to house because we've decided in American cinema there's only 3 options.
Yep.
Trailer, apartment, or huge house.
Yes, that's correct.
This is huge house Jerome has.
Yeah, he has a 2-story house for somebody that can't walk. So,
well, you've got to have the double helix staircase in there.
but also, how does he afford it?
He's a silver medalist.
How's he making money now?
He made lots of money.
But he's not going out there and doing like motivational speeches.
It was only a year. So I think he made his money and then was a year, and then Ethan starts paying the rent.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because he gets the job at Gattaca that is obviously high paying because he's white.
Yeah, and he's the most elite.
Even though he sits in the middle.
Yeah. With a very loud keyboard. The sound in this was weird. It was very like echoey and loud. Like the typing, anytime Uma Thurman walked.
I think it's meant to be impersonal.
Yeah.
And that's why it's cavernous and echoey.
Cavernous?
Yeah. It's a 3.
It's a 3. It's a big enclosure. House. And Saturn, the Titan, the moon of Saturn, is quite large as well.
That's also... And the offices of Gattaca is very large.
Even though that's not where they live.
No.
Alrighty, so Archie's middle initial is Q. Archie Q De Niro.
We don't know what his middle name is.
No.
Quotability,
It's, Q for quotability.
which has become a little bit twofold. It was originally how quotable this movie is in real life, which is why Goldmember got a high score,
Yes.
because we say, oh,
Toit like a toiga.
a pipe and a pancake,
Smoking a bagel.
and, oh, that is weird,
Yes.
and Kissy and the sunshine burned.
Anyway.
That proves the point of quotability.
Yeah.
But Brett's now decided to just say if there's good quotes in the movie.
Have I?
Well, I've never heard you in real life say there is no gene for fate.
No, it's a nice thing. I wrote it down. I'm not saying it affects.
It's hard to find a Wednesday wisdom, speaking of quotables.
That's true. It's not quotable. The dialogue's quite bad, especially the voiceover bit flashback at the start. It's like they were trying too hard to be smart.
Yeah.
And then it came off corny. And I don't know if that's because of what they wrote or just because Ethan Hawke did it badly. Or a bit of both.
Roger Ebert loved it.
Roger, well, there you go. Don't think I agree with Roger Ebert on a lot of things.
What did we do last week?
Juno.
He gave it 4 stars out of 4, Juno. Critical response. It has an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes with an average rating of 7.1. Roger Ebert said, "This is one of the smartest and most provocative of science fiction films, a thriller with ideas." James Berardinelli praised it for energy and tautness.
Energy?
Taut like a tiger. And its thought-provoking script and thematic richness.
I wouldn't say it's energetic.
Although critically acclaimed, Gattaca was not a box office success.
Nope.
But it is said to have crystallised the debate over the controversial topic of human genetic engineering, which we'll get to later.
So quotability, there's not really that much good quotes in it. That wasn't good English.
No.
And, so is it
Zero.
a 0?
I think we need to start choosing more quotable movies.
We're both doing a 0. Wow, not doing well so far.
I'm surprised no one that follows us on the socials has picked us up on how harsh we are on some movies.
But also, we're not choosing movies thinking that they'll get a good Archie Q De Niro score.
No, but I just expect one day someone who hasn't listened to the episode to see us put the scores on Insta and go, "Oh my God, how could you give Juno a 50 out of 100?
Yeah.
And how could you give probably this a 30 out of 100?
Yes,
by the looks of the way we're going.
Heading that way.
Coke or Pepsi? Neither, because in the not too distant future, it doesn't seem to have soft drink.
Yeah, that was weird.
They have all the alcohols, but no Coke or Pepsi, which is the D of De Niro, because it's very important to Brett and I whether there's Coke or Pepsi in the movie.
Yes.
This has neither.
I didn't notice either, yeah.
So it's a 0.
Yeah, the E is for endurance and how well the movie stands up 25 years later.
I think visually it stands up.
Yeah.
Dialogically, there's still movies that are boring.
Yeah.
So that stands up.
Yeah, they still make boring movies.
Yep. And
they smoke at dinner. That doesn't stand up.
No, that was an ill-conceived prediction of the future. There's still a lot of debate around genetic engineering. Yes. Not just with carrots, but with children as well.
Yeah.
We're not at the point where we can choose someone's penis.
No, we're not.
Our child's
or if they have
penis,
one.
That's a terrible sentence. But we can pick up a lot more of the genetics and of the potential defects, which is a word I'm using like this, because that's how they'd use it in the movie.
And by this, for people listening, in quotations.
In quotation marks.
Yeah.
Defects of children in utero.
So that storyline could still be made. If you're making a movie today in the not too distant future, you could still do the same story.
Yeah, because we're not at the point where we can choose it, although people have said that we are.
But also with the science of it all, If there's enough science that you can perfectly design a baby,
We'd all be perfect.
could you not also have the science to fix someone's legs?
That's a good point. Maybe they've done gene picking when an egg and a sperm go, but not gene therapy to the point of regrowing.
No, but it's not the same as in like regrowing someone's spine or however he fucked his legs.
Yeah.
It's the same level of medical science to be able to perform a procedure to fix his legs.
Maybe they just focused on the gene part of it. Because they were like, if we get this right, everyone will be perfect and we won't need other medicine.
Maybe.
And
but
so
then
then-
accidents don't happen.
And so then if you were thinking you'd go into spinal regenerative surgery as an elective, you go, well, there's not going to be an industry around this. I'm going to study genes instead.
Yeah, right.
Yeah?
But it could be done. That's my problem.
I also think that if our knowledge in the not too distant future of genes and how they work is good enough, they could gene therapy his spine
Yes.
to make his legs work.
They could regrow him artificially a vertebrae and shove it in there.
No, I think, you know what I think we're closer of in terms of genes is this gene therapy thing. I think you can get gene therapy. I think they do it for like fixing things in your body. Like they take some of your stem cells
Yeah.
and inject them and it helps you regenerate.
Yep.
So that could be the way they fix Jude Law.
There you go.
I think we're closer with that in terms of genes than we are than picking eye colour.
Well, because that's okay. In
fix
quotation
people.
marks as well.
Yeah.
But to decide everything about your baby before it's born.
Well, on the Wikipedia, this says the film's dystopian depiction of genoism has been cited by many bioethicists and laypeople in support of their hesitancy about or opposition to eugenics and the societal acceptance of genetic determinist ideology that may frame it. I should have read that sentence before I read it out because it's too long and I don't know if anyone got it.
I didn't,
People,
but I wasn't really listening.
science people and dumb people are referring to this movie when they're saying we shouldn't be able to choose the genes because it's
Right.
just another layer of classism, another ism,
Yep.
genoism on top
And it
of all
would
the
be,
other isms we
I
have.
can't afford that, so...
Yeah. In a
for the
1997 review of the film for the journal Nature Genetics, molecular biologist Lee M. Silver, sounds very Hollywood,
Yep.
stated that Gattaca is a film that all geneticists should see if for no other reason than to understand the perception of our trade held by so many of the public at large. So he's saying if you're a geneticist, watch this movie because this is what people think we do.
Yeah.
It's that meme. Geneticists.
What people think I do, what I actually
people
do,
think we
what my
do.
parents think I do.
Yeah, and one of them is Jude Law.
What I
it's
actually
Ethan
do.
Hawke. What people think I do, look at someone's dick while they're weeing and compliment them.
So in terms of score for the endurance, I don't know.
It could still be made today, and I think it still stands up visually and story-wise today. So I actually think it's a 4 for endurance.
Yeah.
Separate to rewatchability. Like
Yes,
it's
okay.
endured, but I'm not going to watch it again.
It's not. It's not how well it's made. If it's a good movie, has it stood up? I think
Yeah.
it has kind of stood up.
Yeah.
It's probably gone a bit more accepted over time. I don't know if that's the right word. I'll give it a 3.5.
Harsh. Okay. Now, N in De Niro is for nostalgia. You have more nostalgia about this than me.
I do, because I watched it in Year 11 biology class.
This is nostalgia and rememberability, how well we remembered the movie.
Right. I remembered it was about genetics because it was in biology class. I don't remember. I remember there was a guy in a wheelchair, and that's about it. I don't remember it going to the moon or this double cross kind of which Jerome's which and blah. I don't remember the sex scene.
Well, I don't remember the sex scene, but I watched it. The only time I've watched it is with 2 Year 10 boys that I was tutoring. So that could have been awkward, the sex scene moment. So maybe I've blocked that from my memory. I only remembered little bits.
See a lot, though.
No, I only remembered little bits and pieces of the movie.
I remembered the general idea of genetic superiority and that Jude Law was in a wheelchair. I think that was about it.
I remembered a couple of things. I remembered the spiral staircase because these kids' English teacher, that's why they were watching it, not for science, but for English.
I was going to say, I hope you're not tutoring them on science.
No, the kids' English teacher had decided that, like, that was the thing in the movie, was like the symbolism of the spiral and the double helix of genes.
Okay.
So that was a thing that the kids were going to refer to in their essay.
Not just it was a design choice.
No. Well, this is what English teachers do: is they pick design choices and overanalyze them.
If they didn't, they wouldn't have a job.
No.
Nostalgia. I don't really think it's nostalgic. I remember watching it, but I don't remember it. Like, you know what I mean? I can picture the classroom I was in and the desk I was sitting at and the teacher I had and who I was sitting next to, but I don't remember that much about the movie.
You picked this movie because when we did Flubber a couple of weeks ago, we read the Google reviews of kids who had to watch Flubber in science. So I think this is a little bit more relevant than Flubber for a high school science. Because at least
I think it's more scientifically accurate.
Yeah, I also think
that's not, Flubber didn't set the bar high.
You could have an actual discussion on science and ethics.
Yes.
Following this movie, which ethics isn't a big part of Flubber.
No.
Nor is accurate science.
The only ethics in Flubber aren't about the science. It's about
stealing someone's fiancé.
The college or something. Yeah. Anyway, maybe a 3?
2 for me.
I'm going to give it a 3.
Impact. Well,
My Hawke.
My Hawke. So that's a 1. I like Maya Hawke. So that's a 1.
Did this give people the idea of being a catfish?
I think people...
Do you reckon somebody watched this and was like, I could pretend to be somebody I'm not online?
I could pretend to be Jude Law.
I could steal Jude Law's photos and that could be me.
He doesn't even look like him.
I know. Then somebody on Tinder... That was a pretty big plot hole for me.
Yeah.
Because even the photo that they compare it to, when it's like the photo of Jerome Morrow kind of looks like Ethan Hawke mixed with Jude Law.
On their little shit screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the picture of Jerome Morrow doesn't actually look like Jude Law. It's like this eye nose part of Jude Law, but the rest of Jerome Morrow's picture is Ethan Hawke's chin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like Jude Law took a photo and moved his mouth to try and look like Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
But that photo would already have been on file of Jude Law.
Exactly.
Impact.
I haven't really had any impact on anything.
Well, it's a little bit of impact on the discussion around genetics.
Well, if you're saying then people use this movie as a talking point of that, does it have that impact on that discussion?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to give it a 2 of an impact. 1 for Maya Hawke and 1 for that guy told all geneticists to watch it.
Okay.
And now you talk about it in terms of genes in Year 11 science.
I'm going to give it a 2 as well.
R in De Niro is for rewatchability.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to give it a 1.
A 1.
It's not tense enough for me to watch it again for the suspense.
Neither.
Suspenseful movies need to be very suspenseful for me to watch them more than once.
And I think that suspense...
Like the one on your T-shirt here. And
The Birds.
Rear Window is an excellent example, or anything Hitchcock, is an excellent example of doing suspense well enough that even though I know Tippi Hedren drives away through all those bird spoilers at the end of The Birds, patreon.com/2drinkcinema.
Yes.
Even though I know she drives away with Mitch,
Yeah.
when those crows are lining up with the rickety,
It's suspenseful.
I'm suspenseful because she might die this time.
Yeah.
Even though I know she's not going to die.
The rewatchability or the suspense isn't will Jerome get caught? It's a bit of that. It's more like, are they going to get him for killing that guy?
There's two suspenses and neither of them are strong.
Two suspenders, yeah.
Yeah.
So just snapping off the pants.
Yeah, they could snap off the pants at either moment, but they don't. The pants stay up and he goes to Titan.
Yeah.
He could get caught. He does get caught, but then gets let go.
He gets caught by the detective running the case who's his brother, but lets him go.
Oh, okay. He gets caught twice then because he's caught by the doctor
Uma.
that's obsessed with his dick.
Yeah.
And by Uma.
Thrice.
Thrice. Yeah. And he's almost caught by Alan Arkin.
Yeah. But Alan Arkin just gave up. But then it was like, Gore Vidal did it. Case over. Bye. They didn't even go. He killed him because he wanted to do the thing. Done.
Did they arrest him?
I assume so. It's murder. I assume they arrested him.
Alan Arkin arrested him, not Jude Law.
Not
Ethan Hawke's brother.
No.
Because Ethan Hawke had to go swimming.
And he like backed away out the thing like, I have to go now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bye.
It was very weird.
Disappeared.
The scene where it's just like, he did it.
Yeah.
I'm like, great, thanks. Now where's Ethan Hawke?
And everyone is like, oh, well, that's done. But the brother's like, no, it's not done. And Alex,
I have to meet him.
It's like, yeah, it is done, actually.
Yeah. What do you have some personal interest in this case?
Yeah, other than you think he's stealing Uma Thurman from you?
Yeah. I think a one for a rewatchability as well.
When he goes to Titan, do you reckon she hooks up with the brother?
Nah, she hooks up with Jude Law. Oh, no, he's dead.
Yeah, Jude Law is incinerated. Do you reckon she hooks up with the brother? Because he is the genetically superior version of Ethan Hawke.
But did the parents choose how good his dick was? And to bring up the dick?
Did the parents choose his charm? Because it's his charm that wins her over. When he goes, oh, the hair blew away in the wind. How charming.
Mm.
Speaking of Uma, I saw a meme.
The weekly meme.
This was a Batman Forever meme. Or was it a Batman and Robin meme?
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin meme. It's... but it's not with Bane. It's Poison Ivy and Dr. Freeze. Right?
The best.
I still beat you.
Yeah.
Chill. It's he wanted to cool the planet and she wanted to regrow the forests, but we're meant to side with the rich billionaire. Yeah. How that is not getting a good score on the endurance scale.
Rewatchability, though.
There's so many memes about how you watch a comic book movie and you start to side with the villain.
Yeah.
Like you start to go, oh, actually, he's making a good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or she, but there's no real
I can kind of see
she.
their side of the story there.
Yeah. I said he. I know I should have used a gender-neutral pronoun, but in all of history, Catwoman,
Poison Ivy,
and in there's only two in all of the Marvel 25 movies.
Right.
And one of them is half a goodie anyway.
Okay.
Scarlet Witch is a baddie in Doctor Strange, and Kate Blanchett is a baddie in the Thor one.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Hella.
Anyway.
It's not tense enough to watch again as a suspense movie.
And it's also just not that good of a movie to rewatch it again.
But also the commentary of the movie is not deep enough that if I watch it again, I'll be like, oh, that's what they mean.
Oh, I get it. He wasn't really him. He was pretending to be Jerome. But you don't have to read it because he goes, I am not Jerome.
No, I mean he's getting treated so differently because he's genetically inferior. That's not hidden.
No, because he explains it out for you
in a 45-minute flashback.
Fucking out.
One.
Yeah, one from each of us.
It's boring.
Yes, yeah.
Some other things.
Remove.
The producer of this movie is obviously a lover of genetics.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
I looked at him like, what the fuck?
Clearly he did twins, and he was like, fuck this genetics thing. There's something about this genetics thing. So the next script that passed his desk that had genetics in it, he's like, money, done. There's all my penguin money going into this.
Going into that, yeah.
What a waste. He bombed. It bombed.
It is a waste.
Pick another movie, Danny.
That's why he's still It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He needs the fucking money to make up for this bomb.
He's got to get the money back.
I don't know how much money he's making on that either. Anyway,
That's
the
why,
music's good.
That's why Maya Hawke's been forced into Stranger Things to pay off the debts of her parents.
Oh, Uma's fine. Uma made her
Uma's
money back this same year with Batman and Robin.
That's true. Then when was Pulp Fiction? Before or after this?
Before.
Okay. Well, then she made it again with Kill Bill. And then
and My Super Girlfriend or whatever it is.
Ethan's in something recently.
Movie. Yeah, probably. Oh, that one with that thing with the face.
Okay.
The poster is that creepy guy with the face, like a horror thing.
The black phone.
That black phone.
Which is apparently shit.
Oh, I thought it was good.
And Moon Knight.
Oh, okay.
Marvel. So there's some
money. There you go. There's Marvel money.
He's been nominated for 4 Academy Awards.
There you go.
Could you tell me?
One's for Boyhood.
2 Golden Globes and a Tony.
One's for Boyhood. I can't... Oh, Training Day? Training Day.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, should we not do this? Should I just say his top 4? And hopefully it's...
Boyhood, Training Day. Yep.
That's it. That's all I can name.
Best Adapted Screenplay.
Oh, that's why.
For Before Sunset and Before Midnight.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
All right.
The music's good.
Yes.
The set's good if it's plain, but meh. Like it's all right.
It's meant to be plain, I think, but yeah it's good. It's a good example of the Clark Kent effect in real life, even though this isn't real life.
Yes.
Flashback's too long. The kids that are cast as the young brothers are well cast.
Yeah. I just don't think that they look enough alike for this whole thing to really stand out.
No. I think even Jude Law and Ethan Hawke looks more alike than the brothers.
Yeah. But I think it would be a very different movie if they didn't do the whole I'm not Jerome at the start. Then it would be
at the very opening credits.
Yeah.
And the 40-minute flashback.
Then it would be a very different thing.
But there has to be... so then that makes the suspense... He's going to get caught for killing, but why is he so desperate to not get caught?
He looks suspicious, so you think he's killed him. Because he's all nervous about getting caught the whole time. So you think he's killed him, but it's not that he's killed him. It's that he's been a fraud.
So Jude Law comes in halfway through.
Yeah.
So the first half suspense is he going to get caught for killing him?
Yeah.
Or we think he's killed him because that's why he's acting sus.
Yeah.
Uma gets his hair because she's sus on him maybe for killing.
Yeah.
But then we realise, twist, he's acting sus because he's actually not Jerome.
Yeah.
Other twist, she gets his genetic profile because she wants to have his babies, not because she's sus on him.
Then you don't need the third twist of the detective's his brother.
Yeah, although the brother needs to be there to show the genetic superior version.
But you could do that and do the flashback of the parents at the end. So the start, you could still explain what Gattaca is and the whole idea that people now genetically design their children.
Yes.
Then you save time on the 40-minute flashback, and then half of it at the end is, you've always been jealous of me, blah, blah, blah.
And then we're like, oh my God, it's his brother.
Yeah.
And to show the genetic inferiority, Uma and Ethan are competing to go both want to go to Titan, but Uma's never going to go because she's got the dodgy heart.
Yeah.
But then we find out he's really not Jude Law,
and
he's got a dodgy heart.
Yep.
And then his brother. It's also a comment of you can have
Did we
all
just
the
rewrite the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's becoming a regular segment.
Yeah, okay.
It's also a comment of you can have all the good genes in the world, but if you don't work for it, you're not going to get it. Because Gattaca is a higher position than detective.
Well, yeah, they made that clear.
Yeah.
Flatfoot.
Even though...
The guy in the wheelchair insults someone about their feet. I don't... Like...
Yeah.
Flatfoot, if that was a detective and the Jude Law goes flatfoot, I go, well, at least I can use mine.
He's the detective brother from Breaking Bad.
I thought he looked familiar.
Yeah. He's a DEA agent. He always plays arsehole cops.
That's, I think, yeah.
He's in something else I think we've seen recently.
Have you watched Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt? I think he was in that anyway.
I've watched a couple of episodes of that.
Then you haven't probably seen it. Anyway.
I want more Zoe's Unforgettable Playlist or whatever.
Extraordinary.
Yeah, I want more of that.
It's done.
When I saw the ads for that, I was like, nah, shithouse.
Yeah,
no interest whatsoever.
I was like, this idea sounds stupid.
And then I watched the first couple of episodes and I was really annoyed because Zoe was the only non-singer cast in the film, other than Mary Steenburgen.
Oh, Mary Steenburgen.
But we love Mary Steenburgen.
Yeah.
Bergen, whichever one you say.
Bergen.
Why would you not cast Zoe as a singer? But anyway, then I actually really liked it.
It's actually quite good.
Other than...
It would score high on the cry, wouldn't it?
We've talked a lot about it. They didn't do the gender thing well. The pronouns were not great, but that's not what we're talking about.
That's a separate discussion.
It's a whole separate podcast.
Not
Too Distant Future is a good time to set it.
Yes.
Because they cloned Dolly the sheep in 1996. So they were getting closer and closer to fully sequencing the human genome. They did it in 1999, I think.
Yeah, sure.
And so there was more and more talk about genes and cloning and genetic modification and stuff. So the Not Too Distant Future was a realistic setting for it.
Yep. I just don't think it's a good idea and it's an interesting concept. I just don't think they made it as well as they could have, which I think I've said about a few movies we've done.
Yeah, we do have fairly high standards. My husband calls me a movie snob, but I just have high standards for films.
I just want to enjoy the movie I'm watching and not... I nearly fell asleep.
If I'm going to pay $3.99 to hire something, I didn't, or watch ads on SBS to watch something.
Yeah.
I want it to be good.
Yeah. It was all right.
This wasn't good.
I might give it, though, overall score...
I'm giving it a 2 overall.
Yeah, same. We've agreed a lot in this one.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 2 overall.
Okay.
So...
Out of 100... What did Gattaca get?
Gattaca got a total of 37.5.
It's not the worst we've done.
No, so that puts it pretty much... that puts it 4th, in between Tootsie and Mental.
What have we done, 6?
We have now done 7, so smack bang in the middle.
In the middle. All right, we're going to look at some Google reviews. I think this is quite a divisive movie, so that will be interesting. And then I'm going to do some trivia on what we are doing next after a short break so we can get our 2 drink second.
Yay!
Drink. Cheers.
2 drink cinema!
The footy last night. Cheers. Back.
We are back and we have reviews.
This one's a long one, all right? So I'm just going to pick some bits out of it. It's a 1 star. It's all over the shop. Finally saw this movie 24 years late, and it definitely nails a lot of things that are about to happen today. The movie is about tracking everything a person does. That's not what it's about.
No, it's not. The review is, I missed the point of the movie, so I didn't like it.
Although one man sneaks by with the identity of another person under their noses. It's highly unlikely for the man to not get caught, as he is always sneaking things into the workplace, and in a future with such tight security this would never have worked, which makes the story pretty darn stupid. I'd give it a 5 out of 10. I've seen...
Oh, no!
I've seen way worse movies, but from a sci-fi perspective and many other movies that do an exceptionally better job in many other ways, this just doesn't do it for me. I give it 1 star to try to drop the rating, not that it will make any difference. This is the worst movie I've ever seen that is rated over a 7 on IMDb.
Oh, okay.
So he's given it a 1 star on Google, said he'd give it a 5 out of 10, and then said, I give it a 1 star.
Right.
As well as not actually understanding the movie.
Braden was a fan, 5 stars. Best film I've ever seen. The part where they're swimming out into the ocean gets me every time. Ethan Hawke was my sexual awakening, even though you spelled his name wrong. So throw him in a movie with Jude Law and boom, best movie ever. Must see. No real comment on the story.
No. Do you want the one that doesn't understand how a rating system works, or the one that person can't write?
Oh, the one where the person can't write. They're always good.
This movie is very inappropriate.
Okay.
I'll spell it for you. INAPROPRYT.
Yeah.
My 3-year-old was watching this. He said, "Why man go in furnace? I started to cry. Horrible movie." 14 people found this helpful.
Chioma said, "This movie gave me goosebumps the entire time. I was sweating anxiously. It kept me on my toes. It was that good. My favourite character is Jerome, Jude Law's character. He played his role.
Law's character.
Yeah, he played his role extremely well, just like the rest of the actors."
This one. It was my fave movie. The dramatic irony is amazeballs. The overall cinematography was awesome sauce. 1 star.
Fucking hell. 1 out of 1. Hey, Lee.
Yep.
What are we doing next week?
Shit, that's a good question. Okay.
Alrighty, what are we doing next week? What are we doing?
This film was released on the 22nd of April, 1942.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
It had a budget of $780,000
That's not a lot. It's the 40s.
and grossed $1.2 million.
That's not a lot. All right, 42. I know Casablanca was in 42.
I reckon Casablanca grossed more than 1.8
That's what I'm
million.
thinking.
1.2 million. It is a spy thriller film. Okay. Just trying to find a little trivia. Stars Robert Cummings and Priscilla Lane and Otto Kruger.
I've never heard of those people.
It was directed... I'll just go for the director.
Yeah.
Directed by Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh. 42. Suspicion?
No. There's not much more I can tell you, actually. I quite like this movie. It goes for 109 minutes.
Great.
Universal. Hitchcock was under contract by David O. Selznick, so he first pitched the idea for the film to him. Selznick gave the okay for a script to be written, assigning John Houseman to keep an eye on its progress and direction. It got rejected by Selznick's story editor.
Yep. Okay.
And it was called Extremely Offbeat. So Selznick forced Hitchcock to offer it to other studios.
42.
Gary
Blackmail.
Gary Cooper was
39
uninterested.
steps.
No. Barbara Stanwyck had other commitments. He settled on Robert Cummings, who had a new contract with Universal, while Priscilla Lane was borrowed from Warner Brothers, although her scenes had to wait while she finished Arsenic and Old Lace.
Oh.
Saboteur.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Right.
Which is a little bit out there. It's a little bit obscure. It's either that or Romper Stomper.
How do you spell saboteur?
Saboteur. It's going to be a hard 6 degrees. You can watch it on Stan.
God, I haven't seen any of these people.
In Australia, you can watch it on Stan.
Cool. All right.
Or rent it in the usual places. $3.99 to rent is a lot of money. Also, Apple TV, it's $6.99. Too much.
Yeah, why wouldn't it? Interesting. All right.
Okay.
Wow.
So we've got to get from Gattaca to Hitchcock.
All right. Gattaca to Hitchcock.
For our 6 degrees.
A few moments later.
Oh, this is...
I've got one if we want to count it.
Right, yeah.
A piece of music by Bernard Herrmann was in Kill Bill. Wasn't written for Kill Bill, though.
Yeah, you could. I don't know.
One eternity later.
Has Jack Nicholson been in a movie with John Travolta or Bruce Willis?
Jack Nicholson, Bruce Willis, John Travolta.
But Deborah Winger was in Terms of Endearment. I'm pretty sure that's Deborah Winger.
Well, hang on. Jack Nicholson was in Batman with the Alfred that was in Batman with Uma Thurman.
Who was?
Alfred from Batman, Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson was in Batman. Okay, so...
That Alfred was in Batman and Robin. So Uma Thurman to Alfred, which we've used 2 weeks in a row.
Uma Thurman to Alfred the Butler.
Yep.
To Jack Nicholson.
No, hang on. Uma Thurman to Arnold Schwarzenegger to Jamie Lee Curtis to Janet Leigh Alfred Hitchcock.
But this is quicker.
Okay, I'm not sure about that.
It's Uma Thurman to Alfred to Jack to Shirley to Hitchcock. It's only 5 things. Uma Thurman was in Gattaca, who was in Alfred, who was in Batman and Robin with Alfred the Butler.
The Butler, not Alfred the Hitchcock.
Who was in Batman with Jack Nicholson.
Yep.
Who was in Terms of Endearment with Shirley MacLaine, who was in The Trouble with Harry, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, who made Saboteur.
You got 5 names there?
Yep.
I've got 5 names.
There
Uma Thurman was in Batman and Robin with Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was in True Lies with Jamie Lee Curtis, who is the daughter of Janet Leigh, who was in Psycho with Alfred Hitchcock, who directed Saboteur.
Yeah, but mine's better because it's actually in movies rather than
Births.
Gosh, that was
Jamie Lee Curtis not in anything with Janet Leigh?
I don't think so. Not that I can think of. I know Janet Leigh didn't make many movies.
No, Hitchcock ruined her apparently.
Yep. And not she wasn't the only one. I think I've used up enough of my brain.
But both very successful daughters.
Yep.
Like Janet Leigh, only one big role, but Jamie Lee Curtis has done very well. Tippi Hedren, only one very big role, but Melanie Griffith's done very well.
Right.
Antonio Banderas has done better. There you go.
There you go.
Has Dakota Johnson been in anything with Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke?
Anyway.
Jude Law, Kate Winslet. Is there someone really old on Titanic?
That old lady, yeah. But Kathy Bates.
The captain.
She's old.
She wasn't in a Hitchcock.
No. Anyway.
We've both done it in 5.
There you go.
It's a draw.
And I've used enough of my brain today.
Okay. All right. Do your own top 4 for the people we don't know from Saboteur.
Yes. Do your top 4 of... I forgot her name.
No, come on. Top 4 Hitchcock. We've done it before, but let's see.
Top 4 Hitchcock.
Okay.
Will be...
I didn't choose a Hitchcock because you're wearing a Hitchcock shirt, by the way. I just saw it on my list.
Well, that one's obvious, the first one. Surely.
It's got to be in there somewhere.
After that, it's a struggle. Not a struggle to think of movies, but a struggle to think of...
what might be up there.
Yeah.
Well, because this is part of the fun of the game, is we don't know what the algorithm of IMDb is. You're cheating.
No, I'm not cheating. I've got 4.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
I'm just not sure about the 4th one. And I might change it out for something.
5, 4.
Nah, that'll do.
Okay. All right. Let me see on IMDb, Alfred Hitchcock. Let's have a look.
Damn it.
Oh, have you looked it up?
Yeah, I've got it. Ready?
Oh, okay.
Number 1 Alfred Hitchcock movie is Psycho.
Psycho, got that.
Got that one.
Oh, are you serious? I thought about putting this other one.
The second one is North by Northwest.
Oh, that's also a good one. I didn't have that in any spot.
I didn't have that either. The third one is Vertigo.
Which I almost put, but took out for one that's not there.
Which I put in second.
Well, you win.
What was that? Vertigo.
Because I've looked.
Is third, and the fourth one is Rope.
I had Psycho, The Birds, Rear Window, and then I was tossing up between the last one, between Vertigo and The Man Who Knew Too Much.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought, if I put The Man Who Knew Too Much, he made 2 of them, so I can claim either of them. And I thought, could I be a bit funny and put Rope?
Yeah.
But I didn't.
But you didn't.
And if I had, I would have won.
I put Psycho, Vertigo, Rear Window, and Dial M for Murder.
Oh, that's a good one. It's a shame that wasn't released in 1942 because that's probably better than Saboteur.
It might be, who knows? I guess we'll find out next week.
This week we're watching Saboteur. Thank you for listening to another episode of Two Drink Cinema. We'll be back next week. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you, Lee.
Cheers.